Hello and welcome to another edition of your favourite podcast, Insane in the Membrane.
Insane in the Membrane.
Hello everybody, it's your old pal Wilson, back again. I love doing this. It's good to be back. Every week I get excited about doing these. Hope you're well, hope you're good. It's you know, it's good. It's all good, isn't it? Eh? It's summer's. The summer's, it's there, innit? It is what it is, you know. We have a good day, we have a wet day, you know what? It's fine. It is fine. Just make sure when you're going out that you make sure you got your Wellingtons and your flip-flops and your umbrella and your sunscreen, and you'll be fine. So, before we get into it, I need to ask you a favour. Please become a Patreon. That's it. That's what we would like. You just got to bung us a couple of quid. That's all it is. Just a couple of quid. It just helps us keep this podcast going. All the money that we get goes back into the podcast. So if you can do that for us. I know everyone's skint, but a couple of quid is all we need, you know. And with that, what you'll get over 50 archive interviews. So that's exclusive to our patrons now. You get early access to our filmed interviews as well, including this episode that you're about to hear. And to do that, can you go to patreon.com/membrane podcast, or click the Linktree link in my social media things in the bios, or in the podcast description itself. So if you go to my social medias, I am Rich Wilson on Instagram, I am Rich Wilson on Twitter, I'm on Facebook as well, and TikTok and all that. You'll see this thing, it says Linktree. If you press the Linktree, that will then take you to my website. It will take you to everything that we do, so you'll be able to see where I'm at, where I'm on, gig-wise. If you want to come along and watch me do my thing, you can book, produce, support to do things. There's all manner of stuff, and if you, so just click the link tree, and that takes you to everything. That takes you everywhere you need to be. Or if not, patreon.com/membrane podcast, and just bung us a couple of quid, and that will help us keep this going and keep giving you the finest podcast in the land. Oh yes, so there we are. Good. Oh, you're all right. It's up and down, isn't it? You know, I have moments. It's funny, a little while ago I had some time, I felt a bit low, a bit shit. I wasn't really telling people how I was feeling, but I was acting odd. And then I've had to go back and say to a few people, look, I'm really sorry, this was happening and I was a bit off, and I'm really sorry. And they're like, yeah, we thought you were a bit weird. But it's good. Luckily enough, you can go back and go, yeah, listen, I was a bit off, and I'm really sorry about that. But I'm in a better place now. I'm having a good time. And yeah, it's just, yeah, things are fine, and I'm loving doing this podcast. And this week's episode, I spoke to Daman Bamrah, and I had a great chat with him so I didn't really know much about Sikhism, and I had a look, and I just wanted to see what it was all about. And so I know bits. I knew basics. I didn't realise how little I knew. So it's really good to have a chat with him about what it's like to be a Sikh, and find out and talk about the religion itself. It was fascinating listen. And you'll hear it yourself in a minute. So, coming up in a minute is Daman Bamrah.
A podcast from producer Paul.co.uk.
Insane in the Membrane.
It's so important as well, so such a brilliant topic of conversation.
Absolutely, and I think the way we do it as well, it's like two mates having a chat in a cafe or a pub or wherever, you know. So yeah. Do you drink?
Nah, man, I don't. Well, I don't drink. I don't like properly. I'll occasionally try something if people are like, listen, man, I know you don't drink, but mate, you've got this Malibu or whatever, so good. Yeah, okay, fine, I'll try it. But
have a mouthful.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, I like a bit of Baileys, a bit of tequila rosé.
Oh wow!
Just anything creamy. You know what I mean? Because I've got a real sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, it's funny because obviously I've drunk. I've been hammered over the years. But yeah. It's funny, I don't really sit indoors, and I don't drink indoors. I don't have it. I'm out. I'm more of a social drinker. So,
right.
You know, I mean, the reason, is this a religious thing? Because you're Sikh, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
correct,
man.
Would it be a religious thing?
Well, I think initially it would have been a religious thing when I was younger. Maybe I stayed away from it for that reason. But when I've sort of gone through life, growing older, I think I would have it if I really wanted to. I suppose it's more a habitual thing now. I just never got into it, and so now I just kind of don't feel the need. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I don't feel the need after I've done it. It's like, oh, I didn't need to have all of it. I could have just I could have left some behind.
yeah. Just the one would have been fine. Yeah.
So yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I just always say to people that I'm kind of grateful for it now, because now I feel like I save money on booze and haircuts. You know what I mean?
Mate,
I'm still broke though. I'm still broke. I don't know how everyone else does it.
This is it. I said the other day, I'm like, I'm not drinking. I'm not going out. It's just, I think it's just traveling.
Yeah,
it's just killing us all at the minute. You know,
mate. Yeah,
it's
absolutely,
nuts.
man. It's lose. Anywhere you go, you're gonna try and take a train. You're gonna have to take a mortgage. You wanna refuel your car, take a mortgage. Like it's so expensive, man.
It's £100 to go anywhere on any mode of transport. It's nuts,
dude. I'm going to Manchester tonight, and I'm like, genuinely, I'm having a belated wedding reception. I'm thinking we might have to cancel because I've got to fuel up the car. You know
yeah. You can't have both. Mate. So I don't know a lot about being the Sikh religion. I know roughly. So I know about, you know, the bare minimum. I know about the turban and there's certain clothing that you wear. There's like undergarments, there's a dagger and all that sort of thing. So I don't really know. To be honest, I don't know a lot about it, but I'm really interested.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely. So I think maybe what you're referring to there is the 5Ks. We have 5Ks in Sikhism. So one being Gis, which is our hair. So we never cut our hair. One is Akara, which is the steel bangle over here. The word Sikh actually means to learn. So it sort of represents a cycle of eternal learning. You've got your Ganga, which is your comb, which you keep for your hair. You've got your Kashera, which is your undergarments, which you keep for modesty. And then you've got your Kirpan, which is the small ceremonial knife. And then these days, I suppose that's more sort of to do with, you know, if you're incredibly religious and you pray a lot, it's used to like sort of bless the food around the prayers and that sort of thing. So we got the 5Ks. We got the 5Ks. Me, I think I keep about 2 to 3 on at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Always say I look the part, but I'm just not very good. I'm not a very good Sikh, like, but I'm trying.
Well, it's very difficult to be to stick to these things, especially with the way modern life is.
Yeah,
you know. So the fact that you're still doing enough to keep within the boundaries of that religion.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's the thing, man. I think it's never about nailing it. I don't think, you know, it's never about being by the book. I think it's about trying. I mean, I'm going to say that, and then you're going to get loads of comments like, actually, mate, it is about being by the book. You idiot, you've totally lost the message there. But for me, I'm just like, you know, us mere mortals, like, we got to try, you know what I mean? And I think that's the crux of it, really. I think if you're trying, you're doing a good job.
I think that, and I think the basis of all religions is to be decent to each other. You know, and then that's what I take from the brief kind of Googling I've done. You know, but that's the basic. You know what I mean? It's like, cause I'm fascinated. I am fascinated by it all, and I would love to have that belief. I really would. I would love to have that. Yeah, there is a higher power. As it is, as I stand, I just don't know. So I don't just completely write it off. I just go, maybe there is. I don't really know until I sort of need something really solid right in front of me. I need one of them to come down and go, listen, all the others, the dickheads, mate. I'm the one. I'm the Mac.
Listen, mate, I'm telling you the answers right now. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, don't worry about them.
Here's the thing, you can tell everybody about this experience. No one's going to believe you, buddy.
Yeah. I think I've had that experience.
Have you?
When I've been on things and I've met one of them. You've met
beings. You've met the higher.
I've met people
in the higher realm.
I certainly have. Well, mind you, I was up there. That's what happened. Are you? So this is it. I find it. I'm fascinated by it all.
Yeah.
And it's so. Do you not? So you don't cut your hair from birth?
From birth, yeah, never cut my hair, man. Yeah, exactly. And that's why, after, sometimes people will be like, oh man, your beard's really nice. I really like your beard. I really want a beard like that. How do you get one of those? And I'm like, listen, man, you've got to go through 3 to 4 years of puberty going wrong, and you've got to have one little tuft of hair on the bottom left of your chin, just like that, for 3 years.
And you can't get rid of it.
You can't get rid of it. You just got to push through and let the bum fluff turn into a respectable beard. And that's how you get it.
So you've earned that. You've earned that. A big
sacrifice.
Yeah. That majestic face you've got. You've earned that.
You've got to really, if you want something to hide your double chin, mate, you've got to earn it.
Mate, I've just trimmed mine, and then I'm like, oh my god, I look like a balloon. I should have kept
good,
it.
Man. You look good. I like the dual tone, man. You've got like a nice like black moustache, but the grey beard, mate. It's classy as hell.
Tells a story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I imagine if I was ever in a Western going through those double doors, you'd be there at the bar.
That's it. Yeah. But the old timer.
Yeah. One little bit of whiskey for me, one for you.
That's it. Yeah, slide it down the bar to you. Let me tell you. So you're not wearing your? Is it called a turban?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's called a turban. Yeah. And
you're wearing a hat. Obviously, keeping it covered while is that for my, so I don't see?
Well, it's so I guess it's like to my understanding, I guess I want to. As a disclaimer, I'm like, mate, this is what I know about Sikhism. I'm not speaking for the Sikhs, but what I know about is that with the turban, the idea is that it's meant to be like a sign of equality. So whether you're wherever you are in society, however rich or poor you may be, it's not like somebody wears a crown and somebody doesn't have anything. It's like everybody wears a turban, everybody is equal. Let's not forget that. So it's a sign of equality, and also it's a sign of as a Sikh, you're visually representing yourself in the open with your turban, with your beard, with the 5K. So if you were to see a turban, the idea is you're meant to be able to rely on that person. So if you're in trouble, you can be like, okay, I see somebody with a turban, I know that if I need help, I can go over and see that person and get help from them. That's why I don't wear a turban, because I will be wearing my headphones, listening to my podcast, going down the road. Don't chat to me, bro. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't even know you. I don't even know you. Yeah. I'm too busy to help you right now, bro. This is London. Come on.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I sort of like I keep my hair covered. I think again it's a sort of aspect of modesty, but like I keep my hair covered, but I'm lazy, so I wear a turban a lot of the time. But I think maybe so if I'm doing something casual, like chat with a mate like you, man, I'm just gonna chuck my beanie on and crack on.
I suppose it would be for this. You'd have to be up at like 6 a.m. to put your turban on. I'm not doing it for that. It's just a podcast, man.
So it's hard to roll out of bed and get your turban on that quickly. To be fair, I've streamlined it. It only takes a couple of minutes now, but
oh really?
It's man. It's super easy. Do you know what it is? I think it looks so much more complicated than it is.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like maybe like a 2-3 meter bit of cloth is folded into like a rectangular, long thin rectangle, and then you just you got your technique to wrap it around your head, and it's actually bare easy. I'll send you a tutorial. I think it's
do.
Oh, I'll spill the tea here now. Otherwise, usually I'm like, nah, yeah, exactly. It's very, very difficult.
It's complicated.
I'm just a genius, I suppose, who has to start his day with a puzzle every day.
This is it. Only clever people can be Sikhs. Did the different colours mean anything, or was that just a choice? That's just I like an orange
mate,
one.
That's your style, man. Yeah. I think traditionally we wear like orange turbans. Back in the day, maybe like black ones, white ones. I don't think that there's a huge significance to the color there, to my knowledge.
No.
I know that orange has been like a traditional color, but other than that, it's sort of other than that, it's just style, man. Especially these days with contemporary Sikhs, man. It's like, what matches my jumper and my jeans? You know what I'm saying?
I saw a dude on the tube a few years ago, and it was the first time I'd sort of seen, like you've just said, contemporary Sikh, because he looked. I honestly was looking at him for ages, going, "You look cool as fuck!" Like he had this orange turban on, but then he had this like Harrington, like a Fred Perry jacket, some really cool jeans, and some wicked trainers. And I was looking at him like, I was like, could I put a turban off just for a minute? That looks wicked. He looked nuts, and
bro, they look good, innit?
Yeah, it's so like you said, because it's all neat, and it's just there, and his beard looked great. And I was like, oh man, you got it going on.
Man, yeah, honestly, man, I think, people are starting to realise how sick they look. And it's funny because like, I think I saw recently like something like Gucci released a turban. I swear to God, man. So in Southall, you can go get a turban. It will be like, I don't know, £5-10. It's not, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can get it properly cheap. It's the good stuff. Gucci, they're doing like a ready-made turban, bro. It's like £900 or something. And
you don't even, and it's already done.
It's already done. Like yeah. How do you know how big my head is? It's not even gonna fit. Do you know what I mean? You can't a small, medium, large that shit.
And surely that goes against. That would capitalism. Would it sort of go against the faith?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's turning it into like 100% a fashion accessory.
Yeah, which we've just discussed, and it would look cool, but at the same time, it would be a bit insulting, to go. Yeah, this is this summer's latest thing.
Yeah, exactly. Sikh chic.
Yeah. When we queued up outside Supreme to get a Supreme one.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same as the Southall one, but it's got a Supreme logo on it. You know what I mean?
All day long.
That's how it's so funny, man. It's so funny. That's the thing about these things, isn't it? Because it's like I said, it's meant to be about equality, but let me tell you something. Not all of us can afford a 900 quid Gucci turban.
No, that's the opposite of equality.
It's literally the opposite.
Mate, that's. Well, then, I mean, it's like whenever fashion kind of grabs hold of a piece of religion, it's like when there were people, like white people started having dreadlocks and things like that, but not for religious purposes. It was just because they'd been to Thailand or wherever.
They wanted you to ask them a question.
Yeah. Ask me about me.
Ask me about me, mate.
So have you done have you been baptised and all that? Did you do the baptism?
No, I haven't been baptized. No, I think, do you know what it is? I think, so I guess with us, when we don't baptize at birth,
right?
We have like a process called taking Amrit being holy water. So you would go to the Golden Temple, you'd take holy water, and you'd fully initiate yourself into Sikhism. That would be your baptism.
Right.
I haven't done that just because I don't think I live that life. You know what I mean? Like it's like I love my faith, and I should do my best with it, but I can't say I'm ready to devote my life to spirituality and religion. With some people, they do a great job of it. They living a modern life alongside being fully committed to their faith. But for me, I just don't think I would do a good enough job. So I don't feel like I could go and get baptized yet. But it's definitely an aim for one day, man. it would be really nice. Yeah, I suppose it's like different to, I guess, Abrahamic religions. Maybe, well, Christianity, to my knowledge, where you get baptized at birth. Is that right?
Or sort of. I was. We did it as when we were kids.
Yeah.
So 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 we were still young. But normally it's at birth. You know, it's
Man.
But I think
so.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was going to ask about, like, you know, with your stuff. It's like, so you say you don't know yet. Is that something you're trying to explore, or is that something you're trying to aim for one day to be, you know, get more into spirituality, that kind of thing?
I think more. I think I just like the idea that there is someone, maybe, or something that you can talk to that can give you some peace.
Yeah.
When you're struggling, it's nice. I like that vibe where you can. I don't know if that's the same with you, when you're having a moment, you're like, oh, do you know what I could really do with, like, picking me up, or just give me a sign that everything's all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I find, I think that's what I admire. That's what I really love about all the religions, that spirituality. And it's always, it's always human beings that manipulate it for their own gain. Don't they? That's what ruins it.
Sure, man. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But to have that faith that there's going to be something there that's just always around you, and at any point you can go, oh, I just need some guidance. I just need this. I just need that. I just need a hug. I just need something. It must be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is, but I think the difference isn't in the results. So I don't think it's like, you know, if you're religious and you're looking for a sign that you'll get it. I think it's, you know, and it's called so many things, I guess, these days, religion, but you've got spirituality, you've got, like, you know, people follow the law of attraction, they, you know, listen to the laws of karma, and it's kind of like, I don't know, man, the way I see it, it's like, you know, you will ironically, you will never have proof. So there will never be something in front of you, concrete, that is like, that's look guys, check this out. This has to be proof, because I think it would just be alien, really, isn't it? Whatever that thing is, and if it was that alien, then it would, you know, then you wouldn't need to convince anyone, because you'd be like, oh yeah, it's right there. But other than that, anything else has a different explanation as to, like, how something's happened or how something's come about. But I think faith, for me personally, is just it's just belief. It just comes down to the simplicity of, like, things are shit right now, but I just believe in my heart that it will get better. It will get better, and I guess in my head I'm like, well, it always has, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, things go wrong in life, but, you know, am I in a place in my life right now that I'm happy with? Yeah, man, of course, because I feel so lucky and happy and privileged to be here, you know, chatting to you, man, being in an arena of comedians, especially, and comics. We live in such a crazy, incredible world.
Absolutely,
just on a personal level as well, you know, I've got a roof over my head, you know, food in my belly. I'm chilling. Everything negative that's happened, you know, it's, you know, not to say that there's I've forgotten about it, or it doesn't matter, but it's just that you continue to grow around it, and things end up being okay. And I think right now I'm okay, and I think that's what comforts me. I'm just like, I know it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. That's
in my
great,
heart.
man.
So just keep that going, you know.
Yeah, you're right, man. It's funny. I was having a conversation today on the way down, and then I was like, look, at the minute it feels shit, but it will pick up again, because, like you just said, it's up and down. It's up and down. It's never straight through. It's never like, oh, this feels great forever. It's always like, oh man, why did that happen? It's like, and then you get that rise again. You go, oh, great, we're on the up. Here we go. You're like, oh, God, down again. What's going on? It's just life.
What's happening?
Yeah. But do you find it easy to talk about feelings and things like that? Have you been in an environment where you could do that?
I think I'm better at it now. I think ever since being with my missus, it's helped me a lot. I think I think I used to be a bit more of a closed book, a bit more sort of, I don't know, if something would annoy me, I would just kind of close up and just get all silent and moody and, you know, typical kind of behaviour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you know what I mean?
so-
Yeah, because we don't, I don't know, I didn't grow up in an environment where it was like, oh, okay, something's upset you, let's share. Like, it wasn't...
You'd have gone, that's weird, back off, man.
Yeah, I'd be like, what's going on here? Yeah, where the hell am
all
I?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, chill out, all right.
Yeah. Where's my parents? Who are you? What are you doing with my parents? It's whereas I think now, the thing is, especially, I don't know, as when you're in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, maybe you might get into the occasional tiff or whatever. You've got to be able to communicate in order to sort of keep it going, man. Because, you know, the way I was moving, it was like, yeah. And you know, something upsets me and I just kind of close off, get quiet and moody, and she's like, well, what am I supposed to do if you're all moody in that and you're not chatting to me? How am I supposed to know what this is about and how we move past this? So I had to learn to get a lot better with discussing my feelings. And it's funny because I don't know why we have like this affinity to like not talk about it, but when you start talking about it, it's really cathartic. I find. You find the same thing? It's like
Absolutely, yeah.
It's nice. It's a weight off your chest. You're like, damn. Every time I do this, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I'm still not good at it. I still close off naturally.
I'm the same. I'll do it. I'll get to that point where I'm like, I know I'm being grumpy and I know I'm being not necessarily difficult, but I'm kind of, but I'm getting really good at saying, do you know what? I know I'm creating this weird atmos, and I don't know why. Something's up, and I'm a bit fucked off. So I'm getting better at doing that. But even then, it's clunky because it could come out of that. Because the other person might go, "No, it feels fine." Like, I thought I was annoying everyone and getting me on edge. But I am getting better at telling people. I'm like, you know, and I'm getting better at telling people as well when they've upset me.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better at, if I've upset someone else, I'm getting better at apologising and just going, do you know what? I was a bit much and I'm really sorry about that. It shouldn't have gone that way, and that was on me because I think this other thing's fucking me off and that's affected this. So, and I do that now. I'm really good at doing that and taking responsibility and go, yeah, listen, it was that and you got the brunt of that and I'm really sorry.
Man, that's so good, man. It's so important as well, because it's like, yeah, life is like that, man. It's not like, oh yeah, you got one thing pissing you off at a time. It's like, no, man, there's always 100 things going on. Everything spills into everything else. So when you were just like, yeah, you know, it takes somebody with a big heart to apologize as well, man. Like, you know, it took me a long time, definitely, as well, to like. To learn to apologize properly, because it's weirdly attached to your pride. You're like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I just never want to admit that I'm wrong. The way I live life, perfect, mate. Nothing to apologize for here. But
you just got to deal with it, mate.
You got to deal with it. Yeah, it's not my fault, you know. Up to scratch, buddy. Whereas, you know, like when you actually get to that point, you're like, listen, man, my bad. That's and you know, regardless of how the other person takes it at that point, it's you feel good in yourself. You're like, man, you know, at least I did that, and you give yourself a sense of relief in it, because then you can be like, at least I'm trying to do the right thing. So it's worth a lot.
Yeah, it's hard, like you say. It's hard though to admit when you're wrong. And it takes time to get to that point, because up until, especially when you're younger, you're like, yeah, what the fuck? So, but to turn around and calm down and go, listen, that was me. That I'm really sorry. Yeah. And what's funny as well, and this takes a lot of getting used to as well, is when you apologise, because you've got expectations, so you're kind of going, look, I'm really sorry, and you want the other person to go, yeah, I'm sorry too.
I'm sorry too. Yeah.
But when they turn around and go, yeah, that's fine, you were a dickhead, and I'm like, yeah, but you know, you're supposed to say sorry as well. So it's also finding the strength to be able to apologise and then take the responsibility, and then not expect, expect them to go, apology accepted. rather
Exactly,
than taking some of, like, sharing some of it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Rather than it being like then it's almost like I know how to get an apology out of you. What I'll do is I'll say sorry, and then finally I'll get what I want. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, saying sorry or taking responsibility for things. It's like I over the years, of course, I've fucked up. We've all fucked up. You know, God, I remember I was a manager of Up the Creek, and I was a terrible manager. I was terrible. And then, and at the time I was angry. I'm like, oh yeah, but you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're making me feel shit. And then it weren't till later on I was like, I was a proper dickhead. I wasn't cut out for the job, clearly. I did my best, but I was a fucking arsehole. But going back, not just that job, there was other jobs as well where I'm like, I think back now and I'm like, I could have been better. I clearly wasn't where I was supposed to be.
Well, yeah, I think that's the big thing with that, isn't it? Yeah. I think I've had similar things in jobs as well where I've just like I've not been up to scratch at times, definitely. And at the time, I feel like a victim. I'm like, oh God, they're treating me terribly. I hate this place. but actually, like looking back, I'm like, oh no, this is why they expect to be like that, because I put no effort in because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's that hindsight, innit? But maybe at the time you're thinking, man, like, I don't know, if you say sorry, maybe I'll do a better job. But
it's always, and that's the same in relationships as well. I was doing it in relationships where I was like, oh, if I get this and this, then they can have that and that, rather than doing the best you can in the relationship or the job, and then whatever you get back is what you get back. But to those, again, expectations. I have expectations, and if they're not met, then I am a victim, and it's because I'm a good person, and I should have all these things, and that's taken me. I think that comes with age, the realization that your expectations are kind of getting in your way.
Yeah, big time, man. That's such a huge thing. I completely agree. I think during the pandemic, for example, we all had such a tough time, and one thing I was struggling with at the time was, Jazz and I were due to get married, and obviously because of the pandemic, we couldn't, and the dates were constantly moving forward. And I think the thing is with weddings as well, you realize as a groom, you realise this isn't about me. This is about my family. This is about what they want. I'm just there, mate. I'm just there. But
so is it an arranged marriage?
It's not. No. It's a love marriage. We met at uni.
I know that's a clunky way to ask, but I was just because you mentioned family.
No, of course, man. It's still, I think there's a bit of a stigma around arranged marriage as well. What is an arranged marriage even these days? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if somebody at the temple was like, oh, here's this person that we think you'd be a good match for. Is it that far removed from Tinder? You know what I mean? You'll just swipe it. The difference is somebody's telling you something. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like the same thing, really. But
that's a brilliant way of putting it.
Yeah. It's just that the matchmaker in one sense was an app, in the other it was your auntie. You know what I mean? Like, but it's still happening. For us it was a love marriage. We met at uni, and here we are, man. Like 8.5 years later. Yeah, it's good times. But
so you were saying in the pandemic,
Yeah, and so families are involved. I think everybody has a certain idea of what they think the day is going to be like, or what they want from it as well, because it's such a big occasion.
Absolutely,
especially in Asian families, make such a big literal song and dance out of it.
Yeah.
So it's there was times where my mum wanted something to happen, and I was like, come on, mum, like, you're being completely unreasonable here. But then as time goes on, you're like, man, like, my mum has had this life, and this has been her expectations from years and years ago. Maybe from before I was born, she had dreams about this day, and here I am like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, actually, maybe my expectations aren't the only ones that need to be considered, you know?
Yeah.
As time goes on, you're like, okay, I need to understand why you are asking for these things.
Yeah.
And that was a real perspective change for me.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? When, yes. Especially when it comes to marriages and things like that, we've got the expectations, like you said, of other people. And at the end of the day, you and Jazz, you just want to commit to each other and go, look, this is how much I love you. I'm committing myself to you in this way, and then everyone else is going, yeah, but what about you got to invite Uncle blah blah, and you got to do this thing, and you're like, I've never met him. Why has he got to come?
Yeah, why is he here for this? Where's he been the last 25 years?
Now he's coming for the buffet.
Now he's coming. Yeah, okay, cool. So he's heard which restaurant we're going to for catering, and
that's it. Now he's rocking up. I've always loved him.
Exactly, man.
I find that I do like that's what I love, like the proper celebrations that you have, and what other religions have, like real. It's such a massive thing. I always find the sort of weddings and things that I've been to, you just go, it was like church as well when we go to church. That's why I think that's another thing that's put me off religion, is that particular religion, is because the church is so fucking dull. You just like, the songs are shit. It's just morose. You just sat there, it's all dark and dingy, and you're like, and I don't mean physically, I just mean the whole kind of concept of it feels a little bit. Whereas
how makes you feel?
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you go to like a gospel church, and it's a celebration, and it's happiness, and it's out, and it's big, and it's large, and it's colourful, and the same with like you're saying with your wedding. You're like, that's going to be an event. That's going to be huge. Whereas other ones I've been to, they're kind of like, well, well done. You're trapped together now forever.
Oh man, what? And they had no party. That was it. Okay.
Yeah, it was just straight. There was just some shit doing in a community centre on Sunday.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? You're like, nah, let's not. Let's have it large. Let's celebrate this matrimony. That's what it should be.
Dude, yeah, man. Do you know what it is? It's like with us, and I can't speak for anyone else, but with us, it's like, when else does this happen? You know what I mean? This massive celebration. I think it's hard to come across times and occasions where you have such big celebrations, and particularly with like all your family, everyone's coming, and these days everybody lives abroad, different countries, we're all Skyping each other all the time, but then when there's a wedding, everyone's coming together, and it's like, what I love is, especially with Sikh weddings, it's like for a week, there's going to be like a week of celebrations, and I know I moan about it a lot as well, but actually it's, I really enjoy seeing, my uncles from Canada, my aunt from India, and, it's like, man, the only other time, without being too morbid, the only other time we're going to come together like this is when somebody dies, basically, right? Like, those are the two occasions that people come together, and it's like, well, let's make it a good one then. Let's have some celebrations, man. I don't think we celebrate things enough generally as Brits, I think as well. We're just very like, it was good. Yeah, sure.
Whatever. I see it.
It's quite good. Yeah.
I find
that was amazing, man. You did so good. Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, thank you.
I haven't really got, my family are an odd bunch. I love them dearly, but we're not really. Like, we don't hang out a lot. Don't really have massive celebrations of family. We don't go over to cousins' houses and things like that. It just that's just my family. I know that other people do that, and sometimes I miss not having that. I'd like to have been more close to my family, but it's just how we are with this particular bunch.
Oh, totally, man. But like, do you know? It's funny, man. I feel like everybody has a really similar thing. Well, some people, they're really close to their families, and it's like unreal. For me, I'm close to. I've got some family here that I'm close to, but there's some family I'm not so close to, and I definitely wish that we had a better relationship for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But then, you know, sometimes I guess there's just a history there where you're like, well, there's some stuff that needs to be dealt with before we can we can be like this. We can be mates again. But
Yeah.
it is tough, and I do think to myself, like, man, I wish we were better at chatting about this, because it is wasted time. We should be getting on.
Yeah.
Life is short, but it's just you know, it's just not. You just can't do that sometimes. We are humans as well. We are, you know, we've all got egos and opinions, and sometimes that's okay.
No, you're right, man. It's just, yeah. That's the thing, innit? It's just that assumption that just because you're related, you have to get on. It's like with parents. This came up a little while ago. Someone was saying, you know, like, just because they're your kids, you've had children, or your parents had you, doesn't mean that you get on. You're still individuals. You're still human beings, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And just
fascinating.
because you're born into a family, you don't owe anything to anybody.
No.
Like, that was just the luck of the draw. So you want to make things work, but you know, it's not an obligation, man. You have to take care of yourself as well, and I think it's really important to recognize that, because you know, especially with Asian families, we're a really tight knit bunch, but sometimes we get really really tied up in tradition, and people are very, like, one thing I've had to teach myself is, like, man, like, you know, you don't owe anyone anything, you know.
Yeah.
You're just, if people are doing things for you, they should be doing things for you out of love, and not like money in the bank, so that one day we can get something out of him.
It stresses me out sometimes, because you know, I was talking to someone recently, and we were talking about family, and I was saying, I wish we'd been a bit closer. But then when I think a lot of my family, and if anyone's listening from my family, I do apologise, and you probably think the same thing. Mm-hmm. We don't have a lot in common. So when I see anybody, we don't really know what to talk about. We're just like, how you been? Yeah, I'm good. How are you? I'm all right. How's it going? And then, you know, we just haven't got a lot to say. So
no, of course,
which makes it even harder.
That's it, man. That's it. And sometimes, you know what it is as well? I don't know. You get a feeling from people, don't you? You're like, even if there's some people, you're like, you and I have got nothing in common, but you're so interested in this conversation. You're so interested in me that we can make this work anyway. Yeah, and then that's giving me the energy as well. Like, you know, I try to always meet people first like that. Like, you know, give them energy. Hey, how's it going? Like, you know, what's new with you? And then it's an energy thing, isn't it? Because if they're meeting you with the same thing, the same level of energy, then you're like, okay, if we can make something out of this. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Whereas there's some people you're like, okay, well, you know, we come from we've got the same background, we've got the same grandparents, we grew up in the same houses, and still somehow we got nothing to say to each other.
I think sometimes they're almost annoyed about. They're proud of me for what I do, and the things I've achieved, and I'm, you know, obviously I can tell that. Yeah. But I don't know. I think they have assumptions as well. I think they assume. I don't know what they assume. I think they think. I don't know. We haven't really spoken about it really, but I think I'm really interested in people. That's why I love doing this podcast, because I get to talk to people and ask them questions. Like I was, you know, before, I've obviously, I know you, but not know you know. I've only just met you really. Yeah. And so on my way in, I always do a little bit of research on all the guests and that. And then I was looking at that, and I was looking at, and I don't really know anyone. I knew people when I was a kid who their parents were Sikh, but I've never really asked the question. So I was interested, and I want to know, and I am interested in people. And when I see my family, I'm like, how you been? I actually want you to tell me. Like, tell me what you've been doing. What have you been up to? How are you feeling? Not just a cursory, fine. How are you? Yeah,
exactly. Let's stop reading off the script.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me something. Let's talk.
Yeah.
I know there's something on your mind. There's something on my mind too. Maybe we can talk about it.
Tell me your story.
Who are you? Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's open up. Let's do that.
Yeah, man. And it's so like, oh man, it's the best thing as well. It's like opening up to people. It's like, you know, for me, like when I go to a club, it's fine for a bit, and then I don't smoke, but I always go to the smoking area because I'm like, I can have a conversation here. Maybe I can chat to someone here. Maybe I can make a connection here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like that. That's what is fun, man. That's what like really is. It's like the spice of life, man. Getting to know different people, and you know, we're both here right now. But like, imagine the different crazy shit that's happened in the decades before that both led us to this moment.
Absolutely.
Let's have a little chat, you know.
Exactly. And it's funny you mentioned, because if you don't go and stand in the smoking area, you end up sitting inside looking after all their coats for a night. There's that as well.
Yeah.
But you know, I've met people like yourself.
Yeah.
All manner of fascinating people just by being open to things and going and just going, yeah, all right, I'll give that a go. Yeah, I'll go and talk to that person. Yeah. And then people say to you like, oh, you've done this and you've done that, and you go, yeah, because I'm not closed in. I'll go, yeah, all right, let's have a bash. Let's see how this pans out. Do you want to go over here? Yeah, I'd love to go over there. Let's have a go. What about over that way? Yeah, I'll do that. All right, let's go. So being open, will change your life.
It's such a gift, man. It's such a gift because you know it's funny. We all think we're so important, don't we? Yeah, we all think we're so important. Oh man, I need to be careful with what I say because what I say matters, bro. What I say matters. People are going to be. Yeah. I mean, it's like, nah, man. You're the only person tracking yourself. You know what I mean? You're the only person who cares this deeply, bro. It's like
no one else gives.
Just
a fuck.
chill. Yeah, exactly. Let's just live some life here because you're just literally no one else gives a fuck. No. It's just you.
Yeah.
So.
Make the best of it.
Just make the best of it, man. Yeah, exactly. It's such a... it's so funny, man. I've been thinking about this so much lately. It's like, you know, especially as comics and stuff, we're putting ourselves out there so much, and sometimes I'm thinking, oh, am I coming across the right way? I hope I'm not letting anybody down. And I'm like, no, well, why would I be, man? I'm not. Do I think I'm a bad person inherently? No. So just be cool. It's all right. Just say what you got to say.
Mate, same. And you worry, because again, we're all having these conversations. They're all, you know, like, oh, you know, I don't want to get involved in things online, or I want to be careful what I say. You go, yeah, but it's your opinion. Yeah. And opinions are neither right nor wrong. It's just your opinion. So if that's your opinion, then you should be. That's your opinion.
That's it.
And then it's up to other people how they take it, you know. And as long as you're not, I think it goes back to what we said earlier with all religions. And I think fundamentally with human beings, the bottom line is we should all just be trying to be decent to each other. You know, and want the best for each other. Of course, that isn't ever going to happen because human beings also love conflict.
We're all pricks, mate.
Yeah. And this shitty little island that I live on and that you live on, they're you know, famously barreling around the world, upsetting everyone. So
having a field day ourselves actually this week.
Yeah. Oh God. It's all happening. It's all happening. But I think these conversations are so important to have. You know, just look after yourselves. Do the best you can. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. You know. Yeah,
man. Yeah, that's completely. It's so important to take care of your mental health, man. Like It's so funny. Before the pandemic, I don't think I really gave it any proper thought. Like, oh, what's my mental health like? I just sort of, you know, you just coast through life, and if something bad happens, you just push it to the back and whatever. Whereas actually, I think one interesting thing about the pandemic is that it forced me to confront my thoughts and my everything I was scared of and everything I was worried about. And it was, while at the time I was like, this is hell, it's actually been long term really, really healthy, because you've got to like understand where you are in life, what you're thinking about. If you're worried about something, you got to talk about it. You don't want to bottle things up.
No.
You want to be able to talk about things, and you know, if you're not feeling good, you want to understand why.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, I'm so glad that, like, you know, in the recent years we've seen an uptake on conversations around mental health and, you know, big things like this podcast, to be honest, man, where it really is so interesting as well. It's not a scary thing. It's just like listening to people open up about this really honestly and understanding, like, oh yeah, no, we're all the same.
We are all the same.
Have that stuff.
And this is the thing that keeps coming up, and the thing I've learned from comedy, not just this podcast, but from comedy. Having been very lucky to have travelled, everybody's fundamentally the same, regardless of their religion or their ethnicity or their background or whatever. They're all the same. We're all just trying to get by. We're all just trying to pay the bills. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. We've all got the same goal, and that's just to survive and take good care of ourselves and each other, and hopefully we'll get through all the shit.
Yeah.
That's the same the world over.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Why would it be any different? That's what we all want.
It's what we all want. So, I'm talking about punishment and not being good to yourself. You're going to Edinburgh, as am I. What's your show about?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I'm not taking a show this year, but I'm doing spots. I'm doing spots for the first sort of week of Edinburgh, because to be honest, man, like, so years and years ago when I was at uni, I went to Edinburgh for a week. We did improv at uni, so I did like a little improv thing with some of the people from uni, and then I went again to Edinburgh in 2019 only for a few days, because at the time I was doing my So You Think You're Funny a semi-final thing. And then now I'm just like, no, I want to go for a week. I want to do spots. I want to I don't want to feel like a tourist. I want to feel like I'm in there. Yeah. You know, doing it. So I'm going to get a feel for it, and then hopefully next year I can take a little something. Yeah. And
no rush, mate. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Unless there's another disease.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
crossed we don't get that. That would be
that's
quite
cool,
inconvenient.
You imagine?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, you see, it is when you're up there. Despite all the shit that all goes with it, like the admin and the expense. Yeah. But once you're up there and you're running around and you're doing the gigs and you're seeing everyone you know, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love being up there. And
dude, I have loved it. Both of the times I've been up there, even 2019, I don't know that many people at the time, but yeah, man, you're just seeing shows, you're with your friends and you bump into people, and it's the best. Yeah. It's like the never-ending gig.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird when you come back and you're not in that bubble anymore. You're like, oof, yeah, there's a real come down. There is a come down.
Really?
Yeah. Especially when you're up there for a month and because it's not reality. You're not thinking about bills. You're not thinking about other shit. You're thinking solely comedy.
Interesting.
For a month, and it's.
So would you say it's like an upside down bell curve where it's like everyone's like euphoric at the start, then I hear there's like a, you know, the Great Depression of the third week. Yeah. Third
week is whenever it hits everyone, and I think people get too caught up in the nomination things, the awards and all that thing, and everyone's got it in their head. They're like, this is going to be my year, and then people didn't get what they wanted or thought they were going to get, and so there's a little bit of disappointment. There's going to be people that are going to be the toast of the festival. Of course, it's all anyone's going to be talking about. There's always a couple of them, and people get upset that it's not them, and you're just like, look, just take the fact that you're allowed to be in this city doing what you love for a month. Hopefully you'll make some money. You're definitely going to be better at comedy when you go home. And you're going to have made brilliant contacts. You've got new friends. You've experienced something that not many people get to experience.
No,
and
not at all.
That's something that you really must take away from this. Is like, who gets to fuck off for a month to do what they love?
Yeah. Exactly, man. Yeah. It's literally like it's just like you were saying. You're just bumping into your friends all the time, and you're doing what you love. Like, man.
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
Yeah,
Enjoy it, man.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, and the day you come back, you go, oh, fuck, the rent's due.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we money. But listen, when you're up there, give us a shout. It'd be good to see you, because I'm going to be up there the whole
absolutely.
time. So, yeah. So,
Dude, I'd love that.
Yeah, we'll hook up.
Definitely link up.
We'll have a cup of tea. It'd be nice.
Where
can we find you? A cup of tea, whatever. Biscuit, maybe.
Yeah.
Where can we find you on the socials, man?
Man, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Daman.Bamrah. That's DAMAN.BAMRAH. Or on Twitter at DSBamrah.
Lovely. There you go.
Insane in the membrane.